Get your day started on a great high, right here on the Lady E Show.
My next guest is Dr. Ekakite. He's a business administrator and a public analyst. So we're going to be asking him, what do you think with regards to the online media and citizens as opposed to idle sitting citizens and actively engaged citizens in terms of civic engagement in how they filter information from the internet and the social media? Do you think citizens ought to be more selective, ought to be more critical, ought to be more principled in how they seek information, use information, and disseminate them?
Well, gradually the wall of principle like that of sovereignty is gradually becoming weak by the day. The thing is that as society becomes more dynamic, changes abound, and there is no way we can build walls, as it were, around or against the changes that come. So we've got to find a way to deal with them, especially with respect to social media. In the past, the paradigm has been strong like an iron curtain, that you will only access public media, government stations, and all of that. But these days, information comes from here and there, right from the days of Irohin, newspaper publication, strictly Yoruba in Lagos. Okay, things about communication have started changing, and society must change with them. If we can translate the Bible into Urobo, Isoko, Hausa, and the rest, and information technology is now giving us a leverage to be able to filter certain information, I think it's something we should welcome. But the thing is that just like any other news material or information, we should be wary of the type of information we kind of let sink into our minds and enforce believability, and also see a way we can sieve them to correct, as it were, impose a correction factor in order not to imbibe the wrong things that people have currently captured as fake news or misleading news or doctored news. You know, those news items, when they come to us, for instance, you see on social media a lot of dead bodies lying somewhere, and somebody says this is Kaduna Abuja Road, and it's like it spreads so fast, everybody begin to post on WhatsApp here and there, and before you know, they say, oh, there is problem on Abuja Kaduna Road. No, we should be able to move to find a sieve to remove all of those things. Yes, society have to deal with those things. We cannot cut it off, just like you cut off a thread with a scissors. No, but we have to deal with it. That not all news are what we have to deal with.
Now, you're the president of Campaign for True Federalism. Here is a key question with regards to 2019 election and even subsequent elections and other kind of elections we're going to ever run in Nigeria. Do you think that the electorates, the voters who have power to vote in candidates to take elective positions that are decision-making positions that can alter the lives of people, drive economies, create wealth, better standard of living, and even living wages for a number of persons? Do you think the electorates and the voters have in their power enough research tools, enough research skills to go beyond using simple press releases or propaganda from different candidates, outfits, or sources, to use that as the only benchmark, as the only criteria on which they decide, okay, this is the information I have, so based on this, I'm going to vote this candidate in?
Well, the thing is that as the problem is getting compounded by the day because of multi-source challenges, people get information from various sources. Some of them, they are secondary, tertiary, or even in the tent when you post something over 50 times. You are not there. You didn't get the information. So in these days of the internet, hence you have a WhatsApp or internet facility to help you post those things. I think we should restrain ourselves, knowing that some of these things we post will either not only embarrass government but give people or society a wrong perception about government, about civil society, about citizens on the whole. you can take a further step to make inquiries on sieving that information, subjecting it to critical assessment. One, you can assess the websites of such organizations by which the news was purportedly claimed to have been sourced. You can call one or two friends who know somebody that work in that media place. For instance, INEC is preparing to announce results. The result has not come out. Somebody has flooded the whole of the social media space with what he thought is the INEC released result. You know, you shouldn't have faith in that kind of result. Rather, as an adult and a well-comported person, you should be able to find how you can authenticate those. Don't quarrel with the result, don't insult, don't castigate the source, but rather it is more incumbent on you to try and authenticate those results by getting a second or a third party confirmation from the source.
Now look at example where somebody is selling themselves, right? Public relations outfits are selling candidates, right? How do citizens now decide that, okay, this is one source of knowing of this person? This is just one source of knowing, because most of the time what is available to citizens, as for example about candidates, is one, what the parties throw out, two, what press release machinery is behind it, or communications and marketing team that are behind the scenes. Even online social media experts are there to churn out all of this information. All is geared towards creating a picture of this particular candidate so that they are in favorable light. The question is, how can even citizens be more journalistic in going out to dig information about candidates before they vote them in? So that we don't have a case of the person that comes in and then issues of credentials of, you know what I'm talking about, the fallout from the Adeosun scandal and the president's YX certificate saga and all of that. I mean, it's left a lot of Nigerians, some people who don't even know how to react to all of that. How can the citizens begin to know that, look, we need to begin to do this investigation prior and not during and when they are already in positions of power?
Well, every public figure has an antecedent. Many people have been following that antecedent for a long time. Many people have pictures. Many people have public statements they have made. So it also helped them to stimulate interest. Oh, should we follow this candidate? Should we follow this personality? And over time, people continue to build up dossiers, a database on you. You might not know. Then one of the dangerous things that is coming on board now is the body language of the personality. Okay, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way you let some things drop into the ears of maybe your PA, your SA, okay, or even your children in the home, your words, maybe those that your gate man, okay, your cook, all of those things. There are statements we make that just drop out, and they could be the real Dikoko, quote and off quote. Okay, so when these things begin to come out on social media, some of the paparazzi that we have around, they know how to get around them to sieve and get this information. And sometimes, nearly 50% of the time, when a prior information comes out, you see that 2-3 days time, it becomes the authentic thing. Like, for instance, two critical examples. When Atiku Abubakar picked his running mate in the person of ex-governor Peter Obi, 24 hours, about 1 hour after doing that, social media reported it. Many persons will say it's not possible. The true thing is that the man is going to meet the leaders of the Southeast and the governors to pick for him or to recommend for him. Okay, so when you see things like this, you begin to really ask yourself, in 24 and 48 hours time, the same thing comes about and it becomes true. So what you thought was rumor has now received confirmation. Then another dangerous one, that is the positive one. And the dangerous one is the scenario you will get from what unfolded with the Omishore and the Oba of Osun State, the king of Osun State. You saw Adeleke on social media prostrating before Omishore. It was a Photoshop work. Okay, Adeleke was seated in a chair. Omishore was seated in a chair. then Adeleke was captured prostrating, reportedly begging him after INEC said there's going to be a rerun election. Okay, like, Baba, you know, my faith lies in you. That was what the communication, the graphics was telling us. But when the thing went viral, oh, so it is true Adeleke did not win by 353 votes. So it's true that it's a wuru-wuru thing. So now he has gone to beg Omisore to throw the card his way. But when you expanded that Photoshop work, and you saw that actually there was a time in the past, not concerning the election, where Omisore in the company of Adeleke, don't forget, Omisore was in PDP, okay? He had been a PDP man all his life. When both of them visited the king long ago, why Omisore had greeted the king and sat down, Adeleke was prostrating before the king. And when they expanded that picture, we saw the king sitting on his throne. Okay? So that is the true picture. It's a picture that happened far, far before the election. But now, Photoshop and social media wonder workers have come to cut, paste, join together, use color to smoothen the environment to give a picture that Adeleke was prostrating for Omisore that to throw the election, the rerun this way. So we have to really take the patience when you receive information like that. Be patient. Don't rush, especially to begin to post. It's very wrong. And rebroadcast. Especially those ones that say, if you broadcast this also time, God will do this for you. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. So it is incumbent on society to grow up along with the sophistication of our evolving technology. Okay, not to just take anything hook, line, and sinker and begin to build mountain upon it, because it has the capacity to destroy.
There is indeed so much you as a citizen can do. You don't have to rely on just the traditional media and social media or online media to do the job for you. You are, after all, a citizen. And as a citizen journalist, your job is to ensure that you also develop your own research skills and networking to see how you can be more involved in the process of political intelligence.
The Lady E Show, a mixed grill cocktail of fun entertainment.